No, and that means that game number 4 on Tundra Pools is gonna be up, which probably... I'm kind of slightly surprised by the Hades here as well, because Tundra Pools are widely known and widely kind of as well as a very strong Norse map. But well, not gonna be apparently something that Helsevich is gonna be sharing. Maybe I just kind of wasn't enjoying how close the previous game was. And the one before that as well, so it's gonna be going back to his strong Hades. That has been... Oh, that has worked for him once today already. Second map obviously was quite a bit of a challenge, so can't really blame him. With, of course, going for the water immediately. Yes, you should be doing that. Gold mine definitely exposed. Not too many forest lines that he could be actually working with as a protection. Only just the tower, potentially sentinels. One about here, second about there. Could be some little help. And the first relic is gonna be for the trio's bow. And actually this time, we can be right about now going overall. So this was the game where Goldline already started to stream. So at this point, for those of you who enjoy that, I can actually put on these. It's... what is the other one? TA, TA. What is actually the other one? I think it's LT for me. Gonna be Siemens, there's gonna be potentially some upgrade, not into the next age, possibly. So, all those of you who can't live without that, yeah, in a recorded game where we won't be losing any possible live chat between the players, so we can therefore put it on once we have the observer here. So as I mentioned, the gold line was therefore streaming from this game forward apparently on his Twitch. Now he's gonna be also right now Symptom going for the foot all the way here into a little pond here, all the way into the middle. You can see it's gonna be another couple that is available for the players. Wonder if Symptom is gonna be trying to go for 2 dogs at once. Maybe it could be somewhat of a decent plan and idea. Easy. Yep. Should be. Can see it's gonna be the same idea also for Helsevich, who was getting, again, boots of kick everything. 4 games, and in 3 of them we have had this relic. So somebody from the gods really wants this to be in the player's possession. Or is gonna constantly losing his boots. And also could be a thing here for him. And for whoever is right about now involved. But otherwise the gold mine is gonna be probably even worse currently for Symptom. I don't think it needs to be necessarily a problem. As I mentioned, on this map we're gonna be probably expecting Symptom to be having quite more of the early game, in my opinion. He should be the one raiding a lot more. At least I would think, think so. As he doesn't want to be going for any kind of necessarily forward build. Far away from his base, yes. Yet rather. No, and Hels is gonna be scouting that, yep, situation is gonna be quite a bit real for both players. They do know this map. It has been already played in tournaments for years. It's gonna be like 3 years maybe that it's old. Thinking that has been used first time, maybe either it was Bilgreg Open Tournament, maybe it was already RTS League before that, but for 1v1s, it's gonna be either BGO or the first Voobly League possibly. I think it might be BGO actually, which was 2020, early in the year. With Gas Book of Knowledge, that's not gonna be really useful at all, and we are still gonna be waiting possibly for the last one, which will be Harmonia's Necklace for 10% village gather rate, which is very sweet. A little bonus here to get. Good food, but very far away. I'll be much more interested, I think, in Symptom, in the Aurochs in the front. And apparently he's gonna be having some also elk herd right in front of him. And yeah, seems like the researches are gonna be in the LT for me. Because I have slightly different hotkeys for them, so that I don't have to be typing it into the chat every single time. Forseti Athena. Athena a bit fast is maybe a bit surprising. I was expecting that the Forseti might be slightly faster, but still about 440 advance for both of the players. And really curious if you're gonna be seeing some early second TC here from Helsevich, because obviously water fights wouldn't necessarily think so. Doesn't seem that any kind of villager will be moving forward from Hells to either of the waters. Now that's a very good gold mine, of course, at the back. Even the food here for Symptom, quite a bit advantageous. Immediate upgrades, as you can tell, and in the end, even Helstrevich is gonna be having such a great gold mine, so he doesn't have to be feeling too bad and envious of what the opponent is having there. Ah, actually even double temple for Symptom again. I mean, like, really, he doesn't have to be waiting too long for any kind of resources, because the extra kind of kick that he gets from all the fishing is gonna be felt almost immediately. Just maybe the problem could be that he's gonna be needing some extra horses, most probably against the archers, because they should be coming from Helstrevich pretty quickly. You can see it now, both military academy and archer range. Yeah, I mean, like, I was going to say that it would be probably better to drop them a bit closer to TC, to a safer position, but he's having an obvious problem of having forward gold mine. So yeah, that's why he actually needs to be playing it that way. Okay, we actually have an even trios bow here. I mean, like, better range for the Toxotai is fine. Sometimes the better range could be a bit of a problem, as Symptom is choosing to go for the water. No, I don't know. I'm not entirely certain if this is actually necessary. If it wouldn't have been better, just to kind of go straight to destroy the docks, instead of trying to go for the boats. Thinking it's maybe just a bit too overly complicated. Of course, the watchtower, yes, will be at least slightly helping out here from the bottom. The top one not gonna be protecting too many things here. Kind of wonder if it would be worthwhile again, if he already has the upgrade, just to kind of drop the tower here somewhere. But hopefully not. Hopefully it's not gonna be needed, as he theoretically still should be the one to possibly be in the active position in the game. Can say now all the way to the right, still the few hersters, at least pushing off the hunt, pushing off the wood line, which is not a bad result. Immediately heading back, ahead in Cheese Chiller and Fox Chaser. And getting a troll into the middle of this, that's actually fairly helpful. It would have been better to get anything else, but even the troll is gonna be somewhat nice little addition to the fight in here, with of course hoplites and archers already in some good numbers. And you can see the pop limit for Symptom, bit complicated currently. So and same can be said about Helstrevich, who does have at least one longboat, which is gonna be maybe still forcing Helstrevich to do some things here. But apparently it's not gonna be too hot, and that one hoplites committed to the fight here, probably gonna be enough to destroy it and pull it down, as this is definitely correct choice for Symptom to be taking that relic away from Helstrevich's hands. All of Thanes, of course. A fairly important tactical wall, because if you look right now at Symptom, who's gonna be having to right now take quite a bit of a long way through the bottom, then the middle pass was definitely the preferable choice for him, for some kind of quicker access to the top. Nothing else. Seems like you might be having, yep, of course, the solution to the problem with the hoplite, but maybe we could be even having the fight against the dock. Okay, dock is gonna be right about now, already shooting up. But you're gonna be having some... Oh, well, the longboat only one, unfortunately. So it's still gonna be quite a bit of a challenge here for him, I guess. As you can see on the left side. No, the problem with the gold, as he mentioned. I really would have liked some kind of tower here. Thinking it would have been prudent. Or maybe, frankly, even anything. Some kind of military building in front. Maybe even some houses or some kind of short wedge-like wall, maybe. Would have been also somewhat helpful, I would be expecting. We've already seen this actually before, in the first game if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, losing the temple is gonna be at this point quite a bit costly for Sim. Can say now based on the resources, it's not gonna be completely terrible. He still does have the second temple, so he doesn't have to panic about this advance into Bragi. I guess he can be and should be actually immediately getting some extra military buildings. He does have basically all the hit points, so he doesn't have to be even healing at all. So getting a few extra long houses would be definitely going a long way. But the army currently that we do have already from Helsravage, actually fairly significant. We still are going to be having the restoration available. That's another further problem here, as this apparently build is not gonna be working out for Symptom. And I really think that that was just a bit too greedy play. Would have been more than enough to threaten the water just from the land. I really don't think he needed to be doing anything else that way. Quite nice Spruce Saint from Helsravage. To get himself some further economy. And so far it doesn't seem like he's gonna be aiming for the TC. Yeah, it kind of feels more like Heroic Age possibly. That's gonna be the next idea for him. There we go. That's gonna be Heroic, of course, some first piggy. And the problem is that, of course, with the Ravagian army around, from who else than Hellstravage, he's also gonna be right now missing the pop limit to even spawn anything new. And Symptom, no, I mean, like, that's actually a pretty big mistake currently by him. Is he not even aware he has lost so many houses? Because I don't see anybody building anything anywhere. No, that's a pretty big mistake, unfortunately, here, because he's having tons of wood. He doesn't entirely mind that too much, but he's completely right now missing the fact that he has actually lost 2 housings. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. You can see 20 population limit less. Even with the flame weapons, it's gonna be somewhat of a sad fight because of that. You obviously need to be getting Chiron into the spot. There he is. Unfortunately, that's actually a point where Hellstravage should be just deleting him. Delete Chiron and get a new one, because he's gonna be having to pay for the new one anyway, and he's gonna be therefore able to have much better fight where he's not gonna be lost basically midway. Yeah, this is a bad plan. Oh, but there we go. He's gonna be dead anyway. Forced into the fight. Flame weapons, of course, should have been probably cast a bit earlier, frankly, and the piggy should be either just kind of trying to go into the midst, or should have been trying to go around to prevent possible disengagement. It's gonna be somewhat of a victory, or should be, for Symptom, but of course some kind of shame here that he didn't have all army in one place. But the piggy needs to be cast and played actually a bit more against the archers here to the left, please. Please, 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 please. Plus. Do that for me on Devil Passage. If he actually had Aphrodite, this could have been also quite an excellent, decentish position to cast the carriers, because there will be only literally 3 units that could have been destroyed that way. Okay, I'll start not paying attention with this Manticore here for a moment. And do we already have the new Chiron? No, we're gonna be getting... Oh well, there he is. There is the Chiron, finally. Of course, Achilles right after, or Achilles. And you can see that already basically most of the army for red is gonna be already gone. 4 seconds left of the flame weapons, so it's still somewhat tempting to go into the fight, because logically he does have right now the myth units, but they are gonna be already coming down, and he's gonna be hoping maybe for some spawn here, but he's simply not getting enough favor from that Symptom, and will be forced to unfortunately run away without good result, and actually quite a bit of a bad one, because he has lost so many units, 71 pop limit, 86 for health, but he's gonna be having much easier time to replace all of that. At least Symptom can be getting himself auto-Q on piggies. Pidgey doesn't have yet. Of course, that's something that should be going on. Having right about now. Poor Sane, not having anything else. For blue, Hendax and Pickaxe. There's the Sultan for Hellstravage. Gonna be having only Pickaxe for Symptom, who unfortunately is gonna be forced off the gold. He still does have quite a safe one here right beyond, but this is gonna be just waiting for the Kataskopos on Undevil Passage, it seems like. Hellstravage is somewhat ready for that. Otherwise just medium units, and actually even medium, sorry, the first armor already prepared against the Norse, which is very nice. On the other hand, we don't really have anything else here. Just going to be having the Boots of Kick everything for the movement speed at 6.14, by the way. That's a one hell of a speed for the Hersers, obviously slowed down by the Throwing Axeman now, but what I kind of wanted to say a bit earlier, would it be nice to be having some copper shields here for Symptom, but he currently does have some really serious problems with the gold. Did he actually finish? No, he didn't. I was kind of thinking he was canceling the Salt Amphora. Yeah, he didn't need the food. He needs the gold. Considering he didn't even have the medium infantry upgrade before. It's a good decision. Okay, Ajax is gonna be almost instantaneously dead. You do have right now the medium Hoppy test with even Sarissa. Further melee resistance. Can say right now 47 melee resistance for the Hoppy test. So unfortunately Finner, Root Drowner and all the others are gonna be quite a bit incapacitated against Symptoms armies, and that's the Underworld into the back goal. Somewhat like we exactly expected. That's what Hell Savage was waiting for in there. And yeah, that's quite a bit terrible news. He still does have some further gold, for example, to the top here, that he's gonna be trying to save and secure. Can see Hell Savage was smartly waiting on both places at once to see which one is gonna be better, and this one definitely is. Yeah, it's quite an excellent economical loss. 23 villages, 9 fishing boats, whereas Hell Savage 35 and 10. And you can see that's gonna be, even Artemis from Hell Savage coming forward. Oh man. Yeah, we can definitely feel that this is right now already tilting, and it's definitely not into game number 5 on the competitive Mega Random, which I was kinda looking forward to. But we'll see. Maybe Symptom is gonna be able to find some kind of way how to make this still fightable. Because right now the gold mine secure. No immediate fix is gonna be, for example, the earthquake after. I do wonder if he's gonna be wanting to cast it into the base, because obviously we don't have any upgrades here, so this gonna be earthquake here, destroys practically the whole base and the whole screen. And then he's gonna be having to rebuild so many things. He does have the wood, but it will be costing idle time on the army, and therefore probably no myth spawns. Hell Savage will be able to focus here to the top side on the gold, and probably pull down the hill fort. I'm kinda thinking it's doable. Thinking there is something that can be done about that currently. As you can see, heavy infantry, at least for Hell Savage, getting prepared for that within about 40-35 seconds. Well, you're gonna be having probably quite a bit of a sad news for Symptom, but he's gonna be having sad news already now, as even though he's having heavy actually throwing Axeman. Yeah, you can see he's pulling back so that he can target exactly those. It seems that also Hell Savage is paying attention in the micro, singling those out. And the Hypaspace, they're just like absolutely death of our Hersiers. This is still something that could be played. Will he fight, please? Will he fight, please? And he can be actually getting some further giants. No giants, actually he can't be getting giants. He can be getting just potentially the troll. No, but the Artemis already in. Yeah, there's gonna be the earthquake into the base. Everything getting demolished here. TC is gonna be, of course, the next in line. With the pop limit suddenly being quite a huge problem for Symptom. Because TC, of course, and on top of it, all the houses. And he's not entirely liking the chances of fighting here to the top without any kind of chance of getting a few more myth spawns. It's a bit of a shame that he really didn't have anything for Food Summit unit. He would have to be in the mythical through hell to get some possible mountain giants. But interesting effort with the piggy to the bottom to get rid of the dogs. That's what he should have done earlier. I'm thinking this was really the bigger mistake in the game by Symptom. Trying to build a dog here. He was trying to be too fancy. Inspired by Age of Empires 4, I'm fairly certain. Because that's kind of seemed and felt like a play from there in the water. He just kind of needed to be having land army and destroy the dogs from the land. That would be more than enough. More than enough indeed. But nonetheless, that therefore didn't happen. Now that means that Deities of that Hell Savage is gonna be claiming the 4th game and therefore the victory in the match. And advancing into the 3rd round of the qualification for the Voobly Champions League. So congratulations. And well, kind of sad to be seeing Absolute Symptom leave the competition. He's always a fun player to watch. And decent skiller as well. But yeah, well, this tournament apparently wasn't for him. And we're gonna be wishing him good luck in especially Age of Empires 4 tournaments. Okay then, so therefore, let's have a look at some ups. Maybe something further still popped up. Wouldn't be necessarily thinking, so you can say now Copper Mail. There are some villages. Having just the pickaxe here, and on the other side maybe something more. Not yet. Just the hand axe and pickaxe as well. By the way, no, well, yeah, because we were having water build order, that's why we don't have hunting dogs. But in the end, there is actually a decent amount of food anyway from the hunt. So I guess maybe some kind of later hunting dogs could have been interesting. Investing the 100 gold is kind of easier said than done, maybe. If you do have a decent income of food from fishing boats, you probably don't need it too much. But maybe somewhere in the later game, because you can see he is hunting. Would have been probably worthwhile anyway. But didn't need it. Got himself the victory anyway. And let's have a look into the post-game information. You can see again 2,500, 11 to 1, so it's gonna be 4-6. 4-6 and 8. That's gonna be 3-8. So 3,800 resources more for Health Ravage. That's a big difference against the Norse. Well played by Health Ravage, considering he wasn't having extra TCs. That's really nicely done. Really nicely done. Just unfortunate, I really think it can all be tracked. Not the fastest of advances, in my opinion, as well. On the other hand, the water is a bit fishy here. As in, you don't have that many fish in it. As on, for example, normal Medit. So you're gonna be possibly a bit slowed down by that. But you can see, for example, Health which managed to reach at least 45 seconds there after 4 minutes. No, who knows what would have happened if he didn't invest into that early dock. But he did, and therefore, Health Ravage's kind of like effort, basically the same as in the first game, worked in a similar fashion, the early classical army without second TC. So he's probably gonna be somewhat of a scary opponent to anybody trying to play some kind of Norse against him and expecting maybe some standardized meta-like second TC from the Hades. He knows how to play that, but that was the only game he lost. Otherwise, he knows what to do with it, it seems like. Okay, so therefore, again, congratulations to Health Ravage from Deities of Death on advancing into the third round of the qualification for Voobly Champions League 3, hosted by Boit, ChronoJJ, and plenty others helping out as well, so thanks to all of them, and the community itself, of course, the most, for all the prize pool and everything, and good luck. And we also wish good luck to Absolute Symptom. It's good to see him in the games, and hope he's gonna be having some success in Age of Empires 4, maybe some good fun also in Age of Empires 2, and looking forward to seeing him in some further AOM. GG. Okay then, so that's gonna be there for the second batch that I also wanted to be streaming tonight. Finished. And I guess that's gonna be probably it for today. You're having some extra games yesterday as well. And there's gonna be Chemo apparently going for some games, so I guess he's gonna be putting on the stream. Currently Ogneni is also streaming. So doesn't seem like there's too much of a point in doing too many more recorded games, as usually you people are not entirely too curious about them. Otherwise, of course, there was also, as I mentioned, the last game here in this match was streamed also by Gold Lion. If you are interested in that, I'm gonna be probably giving you the link if I can find it. Somewhat quick. Well, apparently I can't. Okay, so I'm just gonna be trying to therefore find maybe some video of his. He's probably gonna be having some, I guess, underscores in the nickname that I don't remember. Punkstar is also playing some games currently. So you already do have some good Age of Mythology entertainment waiting for you. Come on, Goldline, where I have your stream. Like, really? Doesn't have any videos here in the past. Should be, in my opinion. Okay, I have no idea why he's actually not showing up here, because I'm fairly certain that he does keep the past broadcast, but nonetheless, I'm gonna wait on that for finding him here. He's hopefully still playing, because I want to be linking him since he was doing the match. Ah, there we go. So what is have the gold line underscore is actually him. Okay, so that's where you can find that, and also plenty other games. He was, for example, streaming tons of the Brazilian top tournament. And for example, of course, there was also a match earlier today. By count from count, he was casting Yoshi versus Mahde, so you can potentially see that match there. It's kind of maybe looking forward to that one, but nonetheless, there was of course somebody else interested as well in the match, so that's at least fun for you to be seeing something else. And apparently, you can get your fix on your addiction on the researches and resources. So sorry if my streaming is so bad and casting that you are actually needing that. But again, I'm just not gonna be risking losing potential chat and interaction between the players, because simply the chat is not recorded in the game and in the reds, so it will be just kind of lost forever. And already there have been some interesting engagements between the players and talks and trash talks and here and there. It's worthwhile. I show it here and there when it's kind of relevant to the kind of progress of the game. And yeah, well, if you are not listening to the stream, if you're not listening to the commentary, then I can understand that you would be liking to see those upgrades and resources. But at that point, you just kind of like don't need to be even watching. It's gonna be better for you to be just gonna get the recorded game. You're gonna be having much better experience, since obviously the experience on the stream here for you is simply not sufficient or bad. As it is, if you enjoy something different, no problemo. And as you could have seen, if it's gonna be recorded game, no problem with it. But in the live ones, they're just not going to happen here. So if it's something that really bothers you, then look forward to all the other streams. There are plenty other casters that are having the games up. No, so that's gonna be that. For the further matches, we don't have anything really scheduled too much. It's like one, I think it is there. So right now the game room. Just the chat. No problem to Tiger Boss and Sensui. Thank you very much that I was even able to cast you in the first place. Because of course it's all about you, not about the viewers or streamers or anything along those lines. It's of course the players providing the entertainment and much more importantly fighting in the tournament for the best result that they possibly can, which is also why we are streaming with the delay as we are, to make them feel a lot more comfortable. And of course, if you want to be there for then following us here and the tournament, then where do we have the window capture where I can show it. Some further games, you can see there's gonna be Count versus Viz, Saturday, 8 GMT in the morning. There's gonna be also Gabo versus Lordy, 4 GMT also in the morning on Thursday. And there is the last match between Superafim and Miracle Man that is therefore still to be scheduled and played. So that's gonna be some kind of evening probably, Brazilian and Armenian. So I'm expecting something like 18 GMT, maybe 19, somewhere along those lines. I'll be expecting it could be. And of course, some further matches will be already coming up in the last round of the qualification. You can find information about the tournament at !champions, and of course also bracket if you are curious. Hopefully should be today put in the first video that I streamed on YouTube between Superafim and Anti-Raider. And potentially in the upcoming days, some more videos if you're gonna be curious. We also do have the first game on his new account, or his original account rather, from Magyar in there if you are curious. But there are gonna be plenty of content of that. He's playing, for example, Eric commonly on stream, so you can enjoy some streams of him also fairly commonly. Probably gonna be already late for him. He usually is gonna plays at about 18, 17 GMT. I have seen him play some games. So kind of like an evening in the GMT time and in the Europe, because obviously he's in Germany. I think he's Germany. He's playing for a German team. Not sure if he's actually in Germany. Maybe he's gonna be playing from Hungary, not sure, but simply in Europe. Central Europe for him. And if you're gonna be curious, of course, about anything cumulative, there's somebody new here. And obviously RTS Sanctuary, Age of Mythology Heaven. Visit that for, well, anything from recorded games to discussions to learning of tournaments to tons of mods and custom scenarios and all kinds of other things. Looks like that Mr. Poundtown is gonna be right now going for some recorded game casting, which is nice. So you're gonna be there for just raiding him straight after. No, and you can of course also find some more information here on the channel with exclamation mark mods if you're interested in what kind of mods we are having. Especially Ipert is quite a bit crucial to some of these efforts. And I also recommend if you want to be getting some more information about some like nooks and crannies of Age of Mythology, and the AOT Encyclopedia, RTS Sanctuary in the general discussion mod subforum to the top. It's a good way to learn all the possible info to improve your gameplay, and it was collated by Hagrid, Ipert, and Logi. Tons of info there. And if you are also, for example, playing on Extended Edition, want to play with us on Voobly as a compatibility patch. If you don't have the original, don't want to download it anywhere, just install and play both Steam and Voobly. In case you are having some issues, feel free to contact some mods on Voobly or post on the support forums or contact me. You might be hopefully able to somewhat figure it out. Now, and of course, join us here on Voobly, the best place for Age of Mythology and Age of Empires multiplayer. And you can play here on the Voobly Balance patch as Weaver. You can play here on the Ensemble Studios 103 patch, the original game. Or you can do here Deathmatch Lightning, Vanilla without Titans, Expert patch on Vanilla that is used for tournaments and show matches, especially by Destroyer and others. Rated Vanilla. You can play custom scenarios like Norse Wars, I don't know, CB, AK Castleblatt. I have seen Tenebroso again playing as the Italian player who has commonly streamed CBA like a year or 2 years ago. Maybe some more streams of that are gonna be also coming up. And then most commonly you're gonna be seeing Zelda and Tiny, especially by Elkers with Tiny and Yoshi also, for example. Has played the tournament earlier. It likes to be playing Tiny a lot, fairly regularly, let's say. No, and for the others, Settlers, Mythodea, Dark Mythodea, Gladiators, RPG, Tower Defense, Choose Your Mutation, Forest Escape. Settlers I probably mentioned. I don't know what. Cat and Mouse maybe. Some Final Fantasy, or I don't know. Can play Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, all kinds of things. And there are also tons of new scenarios that have been created lately by Straxis. The compatibility patch is also by him and Chris. And, well, there is also right now still the event 1 that is about, if you play on the ladder, on the ACSP ladder, then you can basically simply just get 10 games there, and you're gonna be getting Voobly Premium account, which is more friends list, spots, special games you can be actually joining just you, like the rounds, or the numbers 1 through 5, I think it is, or through 10. And some kind of other goodies like that, avatar for your account. And if you have some maybe ideas for improvements on that program to support Voobly, then feel free to also post or let me know. Maybe you can work something out. And there's also currently event 6 going on that is focusing on Sudden Death Mythodea, which is a new version